I know, right?
Yeah,
Night at Roxbury's.
feeling good.
Giggity. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sidejag. Tonight we're going to be talking about a plethora of things. If you haven't seen Deadpool, my guess is, yeah, just keep watching anyways, because I'm sure we won't do too many spoilers that haven't been spoiled already. I don't know what we can add to it because clearly it is a rock star video, but we'll give it our best. I'm Dean.
I'm Hifivega.
There we go. Sorry, threw it to
I'm
you.
here. Let me start with this.
Yes.
Joe, I did realize this, but there's like levels of southernness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like so the lower you go in the States, you get like kind of crackhead southern
Yep.
people, you know,
Mm-hmm.
very South Texas, very South Florida. You go up and then you get so there's like a really solid racist part, like in the middle section
Yes.
and part of where I live, right? Then you
Yep.
get the farther north you go, that's still the South, that you kind of get like the really refined Southern gentleman.
Well, you get the hillbillies. That's what they're called.
Well, no, these are like the ones that owned cotton
Oh,
farms, and
yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
when you come up here, I'm in Charlottesville, Virginia. How I
Mm-hmm.
would say it, but
Yeah.
how that, and I'm gonna do my best impression here. It's
Charlotte.
something like, yeah,
Charlotte.
Charlottesville. We're in
Charlotte.
Charlottesville.
Charlotte.
Charlottesville, Virginia. Virginia.
Charlotte.
See, I kind of go kind of Pennsylvania at the end, but something like that.
Charlotte. So, Food Line was centered out of Charlotte, North Carolina. So Procter and Gamble, when I worked for them, the Procter and Gamble guys that lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, they would come down and show us Southern boys how to properly set up a store so that it would be marketed to our advantage, so that we can merchandise and sell our products accordingly. And I'd be
Yeah.
like, I was 19 at the time, and trying not to laugh was my highest priority. But and also the fact
Yeah.
that I kind of parrot people. That's why I can do that imitation rather well because it's funny you mentioned the South because clearly I live in very southern area, but we don't speak Southern.
Right.
It's the opposite in Florida. The further south you go, the more northern you're going to talk until you
There's a breaking point where
I-4.
Southern Cuban. There's like a
Well,
New
yeah.
York.
So
There's like a New York Jewish and then Cuban.
yeah. So Miami-Dade area is very Cuban, very
Yeah.
Latino. That's an island unto itself. But you know, and you go to there to get to the hill, the frickin', hey guys, welcome to the Keys, man. You know, it's like, um, but no, most of the people that were, you know, from I-4 area is all Northerners. So most of the coast is Northerners. But like you go up to Crystal River or Weeki Wachee or any like if you go an hour up north from where I'm at, there's some Southerners there. And the more north you go, the deeper the Southerners get. Um, it's
Yeah.
but the closer you are to the water, the less southern it becomes, except for in that northern part of the state, because those guys are all like, "Hey, y'all want to go hunting? We
Yeah.
we we's gonna go catch us some shark." And you're just like, "No, want to go frog gigging? No, no, I don't. I want to put gas in my car and leave. You don't do? You don't stay? You don't stay? You want to come? Y'all come? Y'all come hang? No, not gonna do it.
And up
Y'all,
the that's
you
good.
ain't from around here, are you? No, is you? You ain't from
Yeah.
around here, is you?
Yeah.
No, no. My mom and dad were not brother and sister.
What's like, listen, I like Florida Southern people, I don't cut them any slack because they're trying to act like listen, I'm from
The worst,
Arkansas, bro.
the
You
worst, the worst is when you get these northern parent having white kids that have never in their lives seen anything southern, and then they start acting like that, you know, and you're just like,
Oh.
come on, man, ain't nobody in your house got an accent. You're over there like, hey man, I've been listening to country music now. Y'all just kicking it. Yeah, you want to come on? I got my cowboy boots. I got more camo than the forest, bro. And you're
They
just
got
like,
rhinestone cowboy boots. Yeah.
oh dude. So the premier Latino cowboy boot company opened up next door to Five Star.
Oh man.
Oh man, hell yeah, bro. Oh my god.
We have our boots made by a Colt up here. Tony Lamo.
No, these are straight off the frickin' south of the border, bro. Like all the Latinos come to this guy and buy their boots and their pants and it's all bull rider shit. I mean,
Yeah.
like you walk into that place and it's like, oh, that's leather. Yeah. Oh, it's
They
so hard.
they have the Jingle Bell boots, like the ones that come up on the tip.
No. And
Oh,
I
man,
asked him, I said, y'all got, and he looked at me and he says, and Fernando's like, bro, man, come on, man. I said, what? I've seen the videos. And the guy's like,
you're
bro, we ain't
embarrassing
like
me
that.
for my friends.
He goes, we ain't like that, man.
Yeah.
I said, I don't know. I don't know how y'all fly. I don't know where you're from. You know,
Yeah.
like that's
Yeah.
clearly a thing, you know? Because
Yeah.
I was looking, I'm like, where are those
Exactly.
boots with the big tip? I even asked him, I said, hey man, where are the boots with
Yeah.
the big tips? He looks at me like, you gringo ass motherfucker.
Like, listen, I wear toe socks, bro. Like, I'm not throwing shade
exactly.
here. I'm
I said,
genuinely
look,
curious.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, I said, come on, man. I get a pass. I get a pass. But yeah, no, it's fantastic. I hope to God they moved from one location to this location because they wanted a better store. So they're an established business. It's not like they
Right.
just moved. So I'm really excited because I want them to do great.
Yeah.
Because so far they've been great neighbors, and we've had some really crappy neighbors. So it's like, oh yes,
Yeah.
please do well. Please do
Well,
well.
plus, what goes better with a pair of boots than a nice system in your ride?
Let's just stick with the boots. I mean, we got kicker, we're cool, but
Oh,
I mean,
man.
let's just stick with the boots.
Yeah.
All right. So you've had a lot of video. Let's get the Deadpool thing out of the way.
Okay.
What did you think?
Well, first, let me say this.
Yes.
Every time I see a Deadpool after the first one, because the first one was just, it came out of nowhere, but after that, they've just all had so much hype.
Yep.
That I go in and I'm thinking like, I'm probably gonna hate this. It's probably overhyped, and I'm almost going in looking for something to hate. But so far, every single time I watch it, I'm like, yeah, this is genuinely great. Like all three of them, in my opinion, I think the second's probably the worst out of the trilogy so far.
Yeah.
But it was great, and there were so many callbacks to, and we can dive into that. But overall, I thought the story was just fun. It was fun. Like
Yes.
you didn't have to build the MCU, even though they kind of did in
Right.
this movie. But it
Right.
wasn't about that. It was about dumb shit, having fun. And it's like
Right.
this is he's telling you the whole time, like, yeah, this shit's ridiculous, right? But anyways, we did this. It would be ridiculous to kill this man right now. But yeah, so we killed him. It's just
Yeah.
kind of like that. It's like, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. We took Sue, who's never seen any of this stuff, and she was like, that movie was great. And I was like,
Yeah.
really? She goes, I don't know what half the characters were for, but they all fit in and it seemed like they were important. So I just went with it. And she's
Yeah.
like, the Channing Tatum thing, who is he supposed to be? I was like, he was supposed to be Gambit. And
Yes, that was great.
and she says, well, was he ever? I said, no, so he never was, but this was the universe
That's
that
the joke.
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
joke. I said,
Right.
she goes, was that Cavill playing Wolverine in one of those? And I said, yeah, that was the other joke, is that he was considered to be Cavill. She says, why did they have a short Wolverine? I said, because in the comics, he's really like 5'4", 5'5",
Yeah.
whereas Hugh Jackman's like 6 feet tall. And she's
Right.
like, oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. So, she was generally curious about why, because she knew that like it was funny. She just didn't know why.
She knew it was an inside joke. She just didn't know the inside part of the joke.
Right, and she still thought it was funny because here's this midget, I'm sorry, shorter version of him. My bad.
Dean, this is the second show you tried to get us canceled on tonight. You said, what'd you say? You said some another show. I can't remember. Yeah.
Can't say
Bringing it back, man.
Yeah,
reclaiming it.
Yeah. You know, hey, listen, if the Flintstones can say it, I can say it, right?
Yeah.
So that's and if you don't know who the Flintstones are, go listen to the song. Anyways, because we're gonna have a gay old time. It just means happy.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that, you know, there was so many one-liners. The grossest scene in the whole movie. What was the grossest scene in the whole movie?
What's the grossest scene?
Dude, it's so gross.
I remember turning my head on something. What was it? I forgot.
When she snapped the flesh off.
Yes.
And
yes, that was pretty gross. Yeah.
That was so bad.
Yeah. But awesome. And it was awesome that Cap was in it as the Fantastic. I totally thought I was like, oh, it's Captain America, bro. No, he's freaking Johnny. Yeah, whatever. Johnny Flame or Johnny Storm. That's like, God,
whatever. Flame on. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. It was fantastic. Don't excuse the pun.
Yeah. The dog was the worst because it was real. Yeah, I think I followed that dog on Instagram. So it was gross. Listen, everything about the movie was enjoyable. If you didn't like it, there's something wrong with you. It's just what it was. I think the greater takeaway from it was that we can still make a movie that is entertaining and enjoyable for the audience, which I don't think we've done in a really long time. To this scale, we can still make a super movie. You know, and not only that, we can make a rated R super movie. Because if you think about it, rated R movies don't do what this movie has done. And most of it was for the F-bomb and the gratuitous violence because they shot everybody. But when you're shooting a bunch of immortals, it's really not like you're shooting anybody.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah. So,
or you stab them with bones. I mean, who cares? With titanium bones or whatever, the unobtainium, whatever. Yeah.
So to me, that was more of the takeaway is that everyone I was with the girls. Sue's never seen one of the Deadpool movies before or any of the superhero stuff, and she had a really good time and enjoyed it. Haley thought it was good. I enjoyed it. So to me, regardless of all the secrets and who did what, and it was, Marvel, Jesus.
Anybody could watch this and have a good time.
Yeah, and I just, to me, that was the most refreshing part of the movie, was that we finally got to see a movie that we didn't have to say sucked,
and it brought in the TVA, which is one of the only Marvel series that I liked on Disney.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them I really didn't care for, but I liked Loki, and I was like, this is a good addition. It fits with the story. It makes the story, and it's something that works, unlike everything. And I had to have this conversation with the guy that I'm training because he asked me, "Have you seen the Wolverine and Deadpool?" I was like, "Yeah, it's great." Talking about it. It's like, "Well, what do you think about the Marvel Universe?" I was like, "To tell you that story, I have to tell you another story." So I told him about me and my good friend do a show every week. I said, when we started this journey, we loved Marvel. We loved the Marvel Universe. We loved Star Wars and the Star Wars universe. And slowly over time, they chipped little pieces off of me until I really, really disliked it.
Yeah. Well, and so this just showed us that we can make a superhero movie if we put as much effort into the movie as Ryan Reynolds and his team put into the movie, like you're supposed to, then the product will be worthy. This is the third movie. This is supposed to be the dumbest movie of them all because it's the third one. This movie should suck. This was the best movie they've made.
Yeah, this movie's great.
And it was fantastic. I mean, it was done so well. Kudos to them for finally for showing us a couple things. One, we can make a rated R movie that can do gangbusters in the box office and not suck. That we can still make a great movie that will kill it in the box office and get people to go to the theater. Because I think up until this movie, there was, we had Top Gun, but at that point it was just like anything to get me in the theater, and only to realize that I don't want to go back into the theater.
And Marvel hasn't done shit. Like the Eternals, horrible.
Yeah.
The new Wonder Woman, the three girls one, terrible.
Marvel.
I think the last good one was like
Spider-Man.
No Way From Home. Spider-Man,
Right. Oh,
Spider-Man, and then this one,
Apparently, Marvel fired a bunch of producers over the last 6 months to get back on track. Yeah, so Foggy, or whatever his name is, apparently, it was getting big, and he had to start to delegate.
Right.
And they were running with the devil, and like anything, once focus comes, once you lose your core focus, then it goes to shit. The only way to be successful in anything is to have a plan and stick to the plan. Okay. You gotta have, it's gotta work. It's gotta do this. You gotta be able to do this. And if you don't, then it's just, what the heck?
Yeah. What's going on here, bro?
So it's just one of those things where you have to stick to the script, and Marvel went off script.
I mean, to be honest, I would say all of Disney has been off script for a while now. Maybe they're going to bring it back, but they have been so just out of whack with everything. So
yeah, well, we'll see if we can get the we'll see what comes out. Like, so the next thing to come out, so we got what is it? Daredevil is going to come out with basically a season 4, but they announced that's coming. They're going to shoot 9 episodes of Daredevil using the cast from the Netflix show. And I don't know if you ever caught.
So they're doing the full Netflix one.
Yep.
Oh, dude, yeah, that was the only good one.
Yes.
On the Netflix show, I did kind of like Punisher, but as far as like good ones, that was the only good one in my opinion.
Yeah, and they could bring Punisher on to Daredevil and it'll be just fine. Like, Punisher doesn't need
exactly.
He can do a 1-2 episode arc with the Daredevil, and everyone would be happy.
I agree. Like, he's not a good. That's why his show wasn't great, because it was all about him. He just needs to pop in. Like, we know his story now.
Yeah,
they've retold it. And I hope if they do, I hope they keep the same guy. I think he's good. The guy that played in Walking Dead before.
No, they're keeping him. Yeah,
that's good.
But there again, and now that it'll be interesting to just see where they go with it, because now it's Disney doing it, so it's Marvel doing Marvel, as opposed to Netflix doing Marvel that can't talk about certain things, and they reference. So I'm excited about that, because I really enjoy the Daredevil series. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it, because it's really good.
You should watch it.
Don't watch any of the other crap, because they all suck.
No, I did the other one. It did suck, but when they all teamed up.
Well, Luke Cage sucked, and Iron Fist sucked, and Jessica Jones.
Iron Fist was
horrible.
Iron Fist was horrible. That was the worst. Jessica Jones, if you think of it as like a young detective show, it's passable, but it's not great. It's not great. Like, in any light you paint, I don't think it's great, but you can watch it, unlike Iron Fist, which I literally had to stop. Like, I cannot do this. Luke Cage I didn't really care for it.
The first season was okay. The second season just went.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, when they started, I think outside of we both like Loki. I like the Hawkeye girl. I thought that one was pretty good.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's like I don't care for much of it. I'll keep giving it a shot if it's an interesting perspective or a take on something, but I'm not gonna deal with it.
Well, they dialed it back a lot, so we're not gonna get as much as we've been getting. So that'll be nice. We just need to do that to Star Wars now. We'll be all set. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. We agree.
Yeah, this just sucks. All right, so what else you been watching?
Well, hold on. Let's talk about the cameos. What was your favorite cameo?
Um, I thought
I
Blade
wonder
was
if yours gonna be
cool.
the same one. Oh, dude, Blade. That was mine.
I wasn't expecting Blade. I knew Elektra was
Yeah.
going to be in it. The
Electra's
honestly, out of
whatever. But
I think Blade was the best cameo. Uh,
yeah.
there was so many of them that like it was like obscure from,
Yeah.
and you're just like, okay, I mean, that's cool. Like, no, nah, okay, no. But I think Blade was the most entertaining one out of the bunch.
And
Obviously,
I
we all
think
were like, "Holy crap! I can't believe Johnny Storm
Wesley
or Johnny
Snipes.
Rocket was in there."
Oh, that was funny. That was a good twist. That was as far as like cameos at a twist. You're like,
Yeah,
oh, Cap's here. And it's like, no,
yeah,
he's the freaking dumbass
yeah,
character from Fantastic Four. No one liked.
yeah. So that was the best. Like that, hands down, was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Right.
that,
Yeah.
and then they set it up to be the best.
Yeah.
But when we met, when we saw Wesley Snipes' character, I was like, okay, that's awesome. I liked that whole, with Elektra, like all the conversations they had between those four characters. Though that was some of the best, funniest parts of the movie. Like when he's in
Yeah.
there drinking, and he's like, you know, like, like who taught you how to speak? Who's your speech coach? I mean, you know,
That was
you know,
hilarious. Dude.
in the rib that Elektra did on well, like Daredevil died, and he's like, yeah, whatever, because that they were husband and wife. So,
Right.
to me, that
And
whole
freaking Ben
scene,
Affleck.
yeah,
Yeah.
the whole scene for that was just hilarious.
It was good.
Um, I, I enjoy X-23 was cool that they brought her back,
That was
because
cool. Yeah.
that, so I think every cameo and every little tangent that they went on made the most sense. Even the Paul
Yeah.
Rudd, the big thing where it was like, oh my God,
That
Paul
was
Rudd finally
hilarious.
aged, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, so it's hard to just pick one that made the most sense. But I think, yeah, Wesley Snipes was
Yeah.
definitely my favorite.
Well, and I felt like all the cameos were kind of earned. I loved
Mhm.
Blade. That's the first kind of I didn't even consider that a superhero movie. And a matter of fact, I didn't know that was a comic book until after I watched the first movie.
Right.
And so yeah, I loved Blade. Gambit was always my favorite character in the comic books.
Really?
Um,
Okay.
yeah, just because he was like I mean, he's really not he is a mutant, but he's like he can blow up cards like you're totally outmatched, like Wolverine can't be killed. Like you can
Right.
blow cards up. People can hurt you. Like
Yeah.
so I just always thought that was funny. And Channing Tatum, he's one you would think he's what The Rock should be. So The Rock, I'm tired of seeing The Rock and everything. I think
Mhm.
we've discussed this many times. Like I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
so
yeah.
tired. Channing Tatum, he is the pretty boy. He's good at everything. You
Mhm.
should hate Channing Tatum, technically. Most people
No.
or be threatened by him. But oh geez. But he's genuinely funny, and
Right.
he overplayed the hell of the accent on purpose to make it funny. And
Right.
and when he's doing shit like when he's with Jonah Hill
Mhm.
and when they do 20,
Cop,
he's
Bad
just
Boys or whatever.
he's yeah
21
he's
Jump
just
Street.
fun. He's funny, man, and
Yeah.
I enjoy seeing him and stuff. Unlike The Rock now.
Well, yeah, and there again, I think Tatum is always he always serves the audience. He always,
Yeah,
he's not afraid to take one for the team, you
yeah,
know.
exactly.
And the
He's
other
in the
thing,
freaking gimp suit in that other movie.
right? And we've seen him from like teenager up to adult now. So
Right? Yeah,
everything he does, and there again, he's not wide. He can't act outside too much. He's
yeah.
always the almost clueless guy, but
Mhm.
he just does it really well. And if he's in the right script, it's good. I mean, I can't think of
Yeah,
a movie that he's done where I've sat there and gone, "Oh, that sucked." Well, maybe one of the
yeah.
dancing movies, but
Yeah, like the Magic Mike, but that was like for the women, so it really
yeah,
wasn't
but it
for
was still
us.
he was still good in it, so it wasn't like he
Oh
didn't.
yeah, he was still
Yeah,
good in it,
yeah.
but he chooses
So,
wisely, unlike just being every single character, like The Rock. He's not
right.
every character. He's a mix between The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson, because he plays Channing Tatum basically in most of the stuff he's doing.
Yeah, that's a good thought there. Yeah, but no, I thought it was great. It was every cameo that was every minute of that movie was very well thought out. You know, every scene, every take, every minute, they put a lot of effort into that. And even the corny ending where like they have to hold hands to kill the bad guy, which was the corniest ending of all. But it put a bow on the end of it. Like now we know these two guys are have finally done it, you know, and they're finally friends. And it's like, because at the end of the day, it's what a dude film, I guess is what they call those, you know, where it's like, or bro film or whatever,
bromance.
Yeah, you know, and they almost let you believe at the end when he's like, all right, take it easy.
Yeah.
And he just kind of walks away. And you're like, wait, that's how it's gonna end? Like, there's no fucking way. Oh, you got me. But you know, you had that moment at the end where you're just like, wait, what? No, no, it doesn't end. No, this is not how this ends. This is not how this, you know, we all, you know,
exactly. You know, gotta have a little bow.
You know, so yeah, and it did. It wrapped up a little bow. You know, they don't need to make another Deadpool. They probably will, but they don't need to. And if they do, I don't want it for 3 years, you know, because they need to come up with a great story. Because this was a great story. I mean, this is what the first two movies have been leading to, something with Wolverine. I mean, we've always picked on Wolverine, so it was great to get it in there. You know?
Yeah, but he was like, all right, this is what you came for, wasn't it? Right before they get to their fight scene, it's like, let's give them what they came for.
Yep.
And it's like, he Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds, he says what everyone's thinking, which that's part of what makes it great. So,
and that's the Deadpool character, though, because that's just what he does. I mean, he's always done that. The funniest part is the one character in this that they didn't even really mention at all was Cabe. Like,
I guess right.
He was. I mean, they even mentioned his watch. They said, "Oh, with Cabe's watch," but you know, but he doesn't have it anymore, so we're assuming Cabe went home. So, but yeah, that they didn't mention anything to do with him, so it was kind of funny. So I was like, there's no mention of that guy. Way to go!
I guess cutting room floor.
Well, no, I mean, they probably just never didn't ask Josh Brolin to come back. I mean, I don't think he would have helped the script in any way. There would have been nothing for him to do, because that's what his you know, in at show 2 was what, you know, that was a more serious movie. 2 was a lot more serious and less lighthearted. You know, because he was going through the death of his girlfriend. You know, they were trying to prevent the kid from turning into, you know, whatever. So, you know, that's what made 2. 2 was a lot more serious and intense than, you know, so, and there's only so much Deadpool can do to make that exciting.
Yeah, you don't need 2 Wolverines and 1 Deadpool.
Correct.
Basic.
Yeah. I like the one line that X-23 said to him, was like, "You're never the right guy."
Exactly, and he never is.
No.
He's always doing it. Yeah. It's like when you go and you get your system tuned and you're like, this sounds great. And then it starts like, actually, bro, this is mid, but wait till I'm done with it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, no, it fit the character so well, because he didn't want to be a hero. He didn't want to be a hero.
He never does. I've never known Wolverine to want to be the hero.
No, he doesn't want to be the hero. He just wants to do his shit. He just wants to be left alone. You know, he wants to drink and just
he's like me. Like, I would never be the hero. Never. Like, I'm doing my own. But that's what I'm saying. That's where he stops. Like, I act on everything he's saying. Like, I'm really not doing this. Y'all are gonna have to kill me to make me. You know, I'm just kicking it. I'm not saying
he popped out of the back of the car. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay. and everyone's like, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was cool. But
So
okay.
highlight of the movie watching for the past 2 weeks. I can jump into a low light.
Go.
And House of the Dragon, man. House of the
Right.
freaking Dragon.
Is it sucking?
No, that's the problem.
Okay.
I thought every episode was at least good. Over half of them were great. Okay. But guess what never happened? This was a preview to season 3 again, like the first one.
So it's over.
It's over. The battle hasn't happened. They're still setting up chess pieces.
Seriously?
Dude, it was just like a gut shot. I enjoyed every single episode. I thought they were all good, and it's all the political drama and stuff you like from Game of Thrones. But nothing, dude. It stops. It literally, when it stops, it is basically a preseason to season 3. And who knows, how long are they going to do it like this? Are we actually going to see it in season 3? And I don't know if you plan on watching it, but the tables are set. I said this last season, though. The battle should happen. We had skirmishes in this.
Yeah.
So there is dragon battles, and but it's not like there's no Battle of the Bastards moment. There's no fighting the Night King and his crew moment yet. It's just the small dragon skirmishes so far.
Really?
So I really I just got doomed as hell at the end of it. And I was like, this is ridiculous.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, because I obviously I haven't watched any of it because I don't have HBO right now. Thank you, girls. Yeah,
I need to send you my login.
Yeah, no shit. Right?
Yeah, I'll text it to you.
Yeah. Wow, that sucks, man. Because
you would, I think you would enjoy the episodes if you're down for the political intrigue, Game of Thrones style, and the small battles. But if you're wanting to see like a Battle of the Bastards type thing, I mean, might as well just watch the recap on YouTube of season 2 and wait till season 3 comes out and hopefully finishes it. Yeah.
Wow, that sucks. Because it could be years before we see season 3.
Oh, I think it was 3 years before. Was it 2 or 3 years before this? Yeah, for this one came out. So
2 years between these two. So that sucks.
Yeah.
Wow. That sucks. All right. What else you got?
So I watched on the plane. I downloaded some YouTube videos and watched through those. And I was like, oh, damn, I didn't download enough. So I got on their Wi-Fi and you need to watch movies. Mm-hmm. They had some pretty new movies in there. They had The Challengers. That's the Zendaya movie about tennis.
Okay.
So I got like halfway through it before the plane landed. So of course it's on Monday. I come back, it's like, oh, shit, I gotta watch this. I'm gonna watch it on my phone. So I downloaded it rented it off Prime and watched it on my laptop. And it's basically, I don't think it's based on a true story. Right. Zendaya was a hotshot, up and coming, like the #1 seed tennis player. And she hurt her knee. Yeah. She met 2 boys that played tandems. And they started going separate, and she kind of like hooked up with both of them. And then ends up marrying one, and he's becomes a really the top dog tennis player. You see flashes of it. Well, he's not in his prime no more. He's like in his head, and he's kind of on his way down. The other guy he played tandems with, he is completely broke, sleeping in his car, and he's trying to come back. And they bring him into the thing called the Challengers. That's what they call these matches. For local people. So they bring the tennis star down. He's like on Wilson rackets and stuff like that. And he's never beat his buddy before in a head-to-head match. Oh. So then there's like a love triangle between them, even this many years later. And
of course.
It's just like it was great. That movie was great.
Really?
Yeah, I like that movie a lot. It's about 2 hours long. But it was just a really I don't. There's not a. The tennis was actually good. Like the scenes where they're playing tennis is good.
Right.
But there's just a lot of. It was a great drama.
Okay.
So
I mean,
that one shot.
it sounds like a drama, which is
Yeah, it's a drama. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. But when you got nothing else to do, if you're looking for action, this isn't it. But
Right.
if you just want to see like a pretty great story and a love triangle that's kind of like I would say it's a little bit taboo the way it went, you know. So there's some good twists and turns in there.
I did watch one other movie. That's it.
What'd you watch?
I watched The Fall Guy.
Oh, we watched that when it came out.
Yeah.
I mean,
I finally saw it.
It's
what it was.
It's just I'm not mad that I went and seen it,
Hmm.
but also it's like I'm never gonna watch it again unless it's on cable TV and I just happen to see it.
No.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, when you look at like Baywatch and 21 Jump Street and all those other movies that were made from 80s TV shows, this one wasn't that bad because it wasn't cheesy. It was almost like, let's just make a normal movie and we'll have these characters.
Right.
You know, there was some cheesy.
And it had enough twists in it, like, oh shit, you know, he's literally the fall guy. He's the fall guy 3 different ways. He fell in the beginning. He's the fall guy for this crime, and he's the fall guy because he's a stunt person. So it's like,
I didn't see any of that coming, and as because I wasn't expecting that because that was the one thing in the movie that I was like, oh shit, oh that makes sense now because you're thinking you really don't know why he's there. And then you know that there's some bad stuff, but then it was like, oh, okay, that's fantastic.
I'm pretty sure I was the same exact way. I don't think that I thought too deeply about the movie before I went and seen it. And I was thinking, oh, he's the fall guy because he's a stunt guy, and I knew that he like hurt his back, the fall guy. But then when you get in there, you're like, oh shit, okay,
yeah. So that was entertaining. The only other thing I've caught was Joe Rogan did his live thing on Netflix.
Oh, he had a stand-up?
So he did a live stand-up on Netflix. Like,
really?
Yeah, it was the weird. So we got done watching, I think, The Fall Guy, and I went over to Netflix, and it was like Joe Rogan live now, and you press play, and it like didn't take you to the beginning. It took you to wherever he was at live, and it was like,
wow,
oh, this is kind of neat. And it was good.
Was it
Joe
good?
Rogan. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I went back.
Historically, I really haven't liked his comedy that much.
Well, there again, I like comedies. I mean, I like stand-up.
Yeah.
I like good stand. I figured that out too, that I really am a stand-up snob now. I didn't realize I was. But I've watched some. So Netflix has a bunch of low rent stand-ups, like some second tier guys, you know, some Sunday jobbers. Been doing it for 20 years, but have never hit like Bert Kreischer status or Joe Rogan status for that matter. And so I've watched some of those and I'm like, okay, I get it now. Yeah. There's like, I was watching this one guy and this guy's like, he would talk about something. He goes, look, I suck at segues. So he's like talking, tells one joke, gets the whole story done. And he goes, like I said, I suck at segues, man. We're done. Done with that topic. We're on to this one. Okay. Just follow along. You know, and I was like, you could have done much better with like that could have been your shtick. You know, I'm just watching going, all right, well, I see where the guy's going wrong. That should be a stick. Like, that's fucking hilarious. Like, okay, like, you know, we're talking about this, and now we're talking about something totally unrelated because I can't would be the joke. And because most comedians are really good of somehow weaving this nonsense together, and they're talking about something totally different. This guy was not, and I was like, "There's nothing wrong with that. You just got to make it funny." He wasn't. I was like, "Damn,
man,
shit." But
I loved like I loved like a lot of the George Carlin stand-ups, Eddie Murphy Raw,
great story.
A lot of and I another one I liked that's semi-modern was like Louis C.K.
Yeah.
I thought he had some great ones. And then some of Bill Burr's is pretty good, but he's a little too
Very dry.
quick hit. Yeah, and I think I like Bill Burr better and Joe Rogan when they're on podcasts.
Yes.
I think like their style comedy is perfect for podcasting.
So this podcast, this Joe Rogan show is basically him telling you what's been happening behind the scenes for the last year and a half or whatever it is. You know, so you might if you like, I liked it. I'm not a big Joe Rogan guy. Like I'll catch his shit every now and then.
Yeah.
And it's but it was fun. He's just his style is always hilarious because he's so animated.
Yeah.
Because he's just way too caffeinated.
You know, the one that I really didn't like that a lot of people loved was Jim Gaffigan.
Oh,
I just
he's
never. Yeah, I just never got into his style.
I like Jim Gaffigan. I do.
Yeah.
But I also so I always so for me, when I look at a comedian, I want to know something more about the comedian. I want to know why I'm supposed to like this guy. I want to kind of see where this guy's coming from. And I've been watching him since like day one. And so I've gone on this journey with him. So I get his style of humor, and it I don't know what it was, but it just radiated with me because he's talking to the crowd and talking to himself at the same time. He's the most Deadpool comedian there is. Because he's willing to just be like, break the third, because you're talking to the audience, but then with the voices in his head, he's talking about them too. And he does a really good way of flipping them. And I don't know what it is, but to me, that is just fucking hilarious. I think it's more, when done properly, it's very well. And there again, I spend way too much time thinking about this shit. So to me,
I was like, if I hear another hot pot joke.
Yeah. But his other stuff is yeah. But that was early on. His new stuff is a lot better. And he just,
And I haven't listened to any of them, but
the only thing in his humor that I get kind of bored with is he does a lot of self-deprecation.
Yeah.
And like I get it, but I also like, all right, like come on, like just move on. All right. Yeah. So it's okay to make fun of yourself, which you have to do, but there has to be more. So, but he does some really good skits. I like those.
It's like the Adam Sandler tape. So when he dropped his like mixtape, oh, they're all gonna laugh at you. Upon first few listenings, I was still in high school at the time. I was like, oh, this is funny as hell. But then when you start to actually like, this is worse than probably any of the movies he's made that are bad.
Yeah. Not every funny actor is a good stand-up comedian.
Right, yeah.
Like every stand-up comedian is not a good funny actor.
Yep.
So, it's a different skill set to be able to move through those. Kevin Hart is he's an anomaly. I don't think he's a great actor. I think he's a much funnier stand-up, but he does really well. He has his acting, like he is a wheelhouse, and as long as he stays inside that wheelhouse, we're all good.
Yeah.
So, which is fine. But other than that, I don't think I've seen shit.
So I've never been to an Alamo Draft House.
Okay.
So I wanted to check it out. Turns out it's just like the movie theaters we have at home, that they're not called Alamo Draft House.
Okay.
That you can get food at and stuff,
Yeah.
I guess the only difference at Alamo Draft House is they won't tolerate people on their phones or talking, which is good. That's like with the what?
I mean, why
But
would
they do though. Like the other movie theaters I've been to, like they will let it go on forever. It says straight on where you order. It's like you will be warned one time, then you will be kicked out without a refund. And then they say it on screen. That is one difference. And then they show retro. We can talk about this for another hour. They show retro previews, not even, it just might be something random was on TV in the 80s. Really? And they show like Russian 80s, like Star Search type shit. the Eurovision. Let me tell you something, man.
Is this just like for the pre-roll? What is? I mean,
Yeah. Before the movie starts.
okay.
So because they want you to get there 30 minutes early, so you can order your food and not be in the way of when
Right.
the movie's playing.
Okay,
So
that's fair.
they show like Eurovision. They're showing like old Russian shit.
So the lights aren't totally
Well,
dim yet. It's just like this is the
correct.
this is the pre-movie entertainment. I kind of like that.
Yeah,
That's
and they
good.
show cool stuff, unique stuff, and stuff that's kind of related to whatever you're watching. And at this point, you can have your phones. They're fine with it at this point. Once the
Right.
light dim, that's when they throw the thing up on screen, tells you. Um, but let me tell you something, man. European people are weird. They think we're weird. European people and their TV, they are weird as shit, man. I've never seen the type of stuff that they have in the 80s, even in the 80s and the early 90s. And it's like a weird alien, like one almost like a weird alien, like sexual type thing. And this is on regular TV, all this, because you can see it's like the regular Channel 5 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's uh the Star Search was like a 3-year-old boy, toddler. He was singing a song, and he was basically just singing the hook of the song. And then
Right.
there was there was like probably 20 women in bikinis behind him dancing. And then he would do the hook of the song, and then everyone would go crazy throwing roses and shit at him. I just seen some of the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Stuff that was on regular TV in different countries.
Hmm.
So it was just kind of like, I don't know what to say about this. This is
I've never
legitimately.
even heard of this theater before, so that's pretty neat.
I
Alamo
bet you
Drafthouse.
guys. I guarantee you guys have one somewhere in your area. Um,
Yeah.
they didn't have the reclining seat, but they had the you can kind of rock back a little bit like you can in
Yeah, I like the rockers.
and it's a comfortable seat.
Yeah.
It's not a regular seat. It's like it's pleather, and then you got a little table, you got a full menu. They bring your drinks, your food, whatever you want, your snacks. You just order it, you write it on there, and they bring it to you.
Mhm. Yeah, that's always
Um, so I went to see Trap. That's the new M. Night Shyamalan movie,
Oh, yeah, with the guy in the concert he's a serial killer.
and he's trapped in there.
Yes.
Yeah,
It was terrible.
yeah, it was
Had to
not.
be terrible.
We, it's like what you see. It looks like the previews make it look good, right?
Not a chance,
All the
because as
good,
soon as it says M. Night Shyamalan, I go, "Oh, that
yeah,
movie's suck."
dude. Everything all the good stuff is shown in the trailer.
How could it be
It's
good?
not. I'm not going to say it's horrible,
You
but
could say it.
you expect a big M. Night Shyamalan twist. The
You got it in the trailer. He's a killer. There's your twist.
Yeah, but well, there's an actual M. Night Shyamalan twist, but it's very, very minor. It's not the Bruce Willis realizes he's been dead this whole time, trying to counsel this young boy, or the people from the village figuring out that their parents actually they're in 2022 or what 2015,
Right.
and they didn't know that. They're saying henceforth and shit like that. Not that kind of twist. Not the Signs kind of twist.
Right.
It was it was like a Lady in the Water. Remember that M. Night Shyamalan movie? It was like that kind of twist, and it's like it was okay. There was some suspense, like there was some tension, there was some
Well, yeah,
suspense,
I would assume so. I mean,
but yeah, it was not. It was a 4 out of 10 maybe for
oh,
me.
Jesus. Wow.
4 or 5. It was. I was
Bad.
like, yeah, this chair's really nice. I got the and I hadn't had dinner, So I was like, yeah, what looks good on here? And I got the loaded fries. Loaded fries were great. They had queso on them, bacon, cilantro.
So
So I
basically
was
the
eating the loaded
experience
fries.
was way better than the movie.
Absolutely. And then I
That
got
is
for dessert, I got they had baked cookies. I was like, are they just bringing me out some cheap ass packaged cookies? No. They actually baked these cookies, and they were a mix between crunchy on the bottom and top, but in the middle, a little soft.
yeah.
So it was like the perfect chocolate chip cookies, and I was like, man, this was good. This was good. The movie, it was an excuse to come here and get some good fries and some cookies. So
Well, there you go. That's pretty cool. Wow.
yeah,
Man. Huh. Yeah. No, it's man, we had the storm come through this past
yeah.
week. And so Sunday was they just watched Olympics all day. Like we're just watching Olympics, We have a new Olympic sport that we're enamored with. Is the hammer toss.
Uh,
Like
hammer toss.
hammer toss. I didn't know what it was. We didn't know what it was. We were tired of watching swimming and track. And they're like, next up is the hammer toss. And I said, I don't know. It's got a hammer and it can't be bad. Let's just see what this is. It's literally when they have the ball on a string, they spin around
Yeah.
really fast and throw it. And fucking A, we were roped into that hardcore, man. Like, wow. Like, we watched the men, and then by chance we caught the women the other night. And it was great. I was like, just couldn't stop watching. Like,
You know how they've been showing Snoop Dogg everywhere?
yes.
So I was reading an article last night that I don't know who's paying him, but he's being paid $50,000 a day plus expenses just to be there.
I would do it.
And I was like, hell yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat. I mean, I would love to go to the Olympics, just pay myself to go to the Olympics. But I think they're getting their money's worth because he's had so much attention on him being at the Olympics, so they're definitely getting their money's worth.
Flavor Flav is there also too.
Yeah, but no one's looking at looking for Flavor Flav.
There's so many. Yeah. That's the low rent version.
Up there holding, is he up there holding his watch?
I have no idea, but he was there. Somebody paid him to be there.
Yeah, he's past his prime, but I'm still gonna say it. That Flavor Flav is probably the greatest hype man of all time. Outside of Don King is very close, but Flavor Flav, he's the OG.
He definitely paved the road for sure. But
yeah.
No, so we watched the Olympics most of the day, which kind of sucked because so I was like, I guess I'm gonna get a lot of work done today. So I sat there and edited stuff that I've been trying to edit, and they watched that, and then they watched some of their other crap, and I was like, okay, it's 9:00. I'm watching my own movie, So we're watching the Fall Guy. That's all this, finally I get to sit here and do nothing. So no, we had to, what? We watched the Joe Rogan thing was Saturday. Yeah, because we watched there's a Dave Bautista has this spy movie we did with a little girl, and they just came out with a part 2 where she's older now and in like high school.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, oh, hey, they made a part 2 of this. We should watch it. And I was like,
I watched a movie with Cassie that Bautista was in as a regular person. I don't think it was that movie though. I can't remember the name of it, but it was not bad. My wife's like, he looks so familiar, and I was like, that's freaking what's his name from
Drax.
Yeah, Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, okay.
No, I will say this: doing Guardians of the Galaxy and some of the other movies he's done, he's really upped his acting game by being around some really great actors. So when he said he didn't want to do it anymore, I was just like, why? Like,
I'd definitely rather see. I'd rather see him than The Rock or even John Cena.
I don't mind John Cena. I'm enjoying John Cena. He's making me laugh, and I find him entertaining. So
I think I got burned out on the that Chinese movie he made.
That movie was terrible. That movie was terrible, but that was a payday. Hey, listen, man, you got bills to pay. I'm not going to fault anybody for paying bills, but the follow up to that were good. So to me, that's fine.
Yeah.
But even that movie, if you really look at the movie, sucked. His acting didn't suck. That was just like Ricky Stenicki. The movie sucked.
Ricky Stenicki was that he made that movie, dude. Still like I see the memes of him singing the perverted version of the song.
Yeah.
I see it all over Instagram, dude, and it makes me laugh every single time.
Yeah. It's so I mean, that's just it. He makes me laugh. He's become a
Yeah,
good comedic actor,
yeah,
and he plays, because it's great. It's hard to take him serious.
yeah,
It's hard to take him serious. In the roles where you're trying to take him serious, it just doesn't work. You
yeah.
know?
And I prefer that out of. That's what I hate about The Rock. It's like, oh, I can't lose a fight, you know, because I'm The Rock, and it's like,
Right.
dude, just go away, just go away.
Well, he's in the next
Tired of seeing.
Christmas movie.
I already seen it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it. I'm boycotting it.
Well, it's the problem is I like the other people that are in the movie, so
Yeah,
that's
it
really the
actually looked
one.
kind of good.
Yeah.
Like it might be funny, but yeah, like we
Oh,
could have put another big dude in there.
probably, but it wouldn't get the draw.
Yeah,
It's Christmas, it's kids.
no,
I would put The Rock. I would have cast The Rock too, just because it's perfect, So we'll see. We'll see what it is. Do you have a movie that you'd want to watch in the next couple weeks?
I don't know that. I
Oh,
don't know if I
I know what I
have
went. I went and watched the last Tron. So I was like,
the
man, I
newest
haven't.
one.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, oh man, I went back and watched that,
That
and
one's great. Like if you got a really nice TV and surround system.
yeah, it's funny because that was just right at the beginning of the de-aging process,
Yeah,
and it was like, huh, um, yeah, it it isn't as good, but it's fine.
right. Yeah. Oh
Mm.
God, Madam Web. What's that?
Oh, don't even bother. That's terrible.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm not going to.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Um, I don't even know where to get started on that one. It's
I
just
think I added one called Dirty Pop, the boy band scam. I just added that to my list of things to my
okay.
Netflix queue.
Let's go ahead and watch that. We'll talk about that because that's a three-parter.
Yeah, and it's about Lou Pearlman, which we
Oh,
all
yeah.
know how that ended up. Well, I don't know that everyone knows. I know, but
I didn't know. I didn't know, and I would love to
yeah,
talk about it because that's more your speed than mine, and I have
yeah,
questions. So
yeah. We'll see. And
yeah,
listen, after I never liked any boy band, so
I could care
it's
less.
yeah. I
They
never.
all,
I would say there's like a few New Kids on the Block songs. I was like, all right, this is okay,
yeah,
but that's
yeah.
it.
I
Yeah,
mean, listen, music is music. I don't put it past anybody. I don't like it was funny because I had no idea who sung the song from Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, that he's always walking
yeah.
around singing. I didn't realize
Oh,
that was
Post
Post
Malone.
Malone. Yeah, I had
Yeah,
no idea.
yeah,
Fernando was playing it today in one of the cars we were working on, and I go, "Who the hell sings that?" And he goes, "It's Post Malone." I go, "Really? Would have never guessed that."
yeah.
It's a good song.
Post Malone's got a
Yes.
few good songs, and he's got a
Yeah,
lot of bad ones as
he's got a
well.
lot of bad ones, but he's got a lot of bad ones. But I think the funny thing
Yeah,
about Post Malone is like when you see people, he's just like, I can't believe I'm here. I'm gonna do my best to,
yeah,
like, because you guys came, so I'm gonna
yeah,
try, but I really suck.
yeah.
It's like I'm not
When
that good.
he when he said it before, he's like, I was never poor. He's like, my dad worked for the Dallas Cowboys. He's like, I just like making music, and his dad
Yeah.
still works for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh wow.
I think
Yeah.
that's how he got his first break was he got Cowboys tickets to a producer.
Mm.
And then there's a meme going around, and it's like, never give up because this was Post Malone's first music video, and it is hilarious, dude. It's
Oh wow.
so
Yeah.
it's so cringe, but it's like, hey, it's part of your history.
Yeah.
So
We all got to start somewhere, right?
yeah,
And I mean, as much as we'd all like to just think we're great from day one, it's the reality is we're not. You know,
Yeah.
we all have to take our hits, and we all have to learn to not suck.
That's why all of our first videos are still up there.
They're just hard to find.
Yeah, exactly. They're not in the algo.
No, they're hard to find, and they're cringy.
Yeah.
Don't look at those. Yeah, but all right. Well, hey, man, that's the show, guys. Watch the boy bands on Netflix. It's enjoyable. I'll just watch it. You'll whether you like
Yeah,
boy
it's
bands
a,
or not.
watch the
It's a good
documentary on
documentary.
anything.
Yeah.
That's the motto. So
Yeah. So that's all we got for this week. No show next week. I know you're so depressed. Oh, it's so bad. But we'll be back the week after. So we got 2 weeks, 2-week break. Everyone have a good time. That's it. That's all we got.
and we'll
Peace
see you in
out,
the
man.
next one.
See ya.